What's up, y'all? I'm hoping you're having a great day. You're watching Sharks Metalworks, and today we got a new project going on. This is the second time I've tried to do this intro because the first time I didn't hit record. Amateur move on my part. But we're gonna make a elven short sword.
Alright, going to do a voiceover here explaining on what I'm doing. I got 20 layers of alternating 15 and 20 and 1095, 10 each. Cleaning it off with acetone. All the materials you see here are all from Maritime Knife Supplies, which I really like. If you buy it by the foot, you can have them cut it at whatever length you want. These are all 6-inch pieces. I believe, if I remember correctly, the full dimensions of these are 1/16 of an inch, 2 inches by 6 inches. And this is just alternating layers, no manipulating. This is actually the second billet that I did. You can see, if you look in the forge, you see a little bar. That's the first one. I like to always have something in the fire, multitasking. To weld these, you just want to do the corners, and then since this is a 6-inch piece, I put 1 to 2 welds uh, down the billet so the layers do not delaminate. Just going to flip it over, do the same thing on the other side. I chose not to put a handle on this. Going forward, I will always be putting a handle because you will see shortly that it was a struggle bus. I had to flip it over while it was still hot to set the welds in my forging press. And you don't need a special welder. This is just a 110 from Harbor Freight. See here, we're setting the welds in the Husky 22-ton log splitter that I converted into a forging press. After the forge weld, put another die in to help the process of drawing this out. I did have to cut this multiple times. That's actually half of the original billet, so I will have 4 pieces, as you see here, total. Then I cut this in half, so I will have 4 pieces, or excuse me, 8 pieces in total. And you'll see shortly that I stand up and grab the other billet. This is actually the one you see in the vise is actually the first billet that I made. The second one here, I always like to multitask. It's what I normally do when I'm waiting for billets to heat up, because I take about a half an hour to let the billet heat up fully. I do like the diamond faced cutoff discs. They work a lot better than the abrasive ones. They last a lot longer. Gonna mark it out, cut it in half. Then here, I had a buddy of mine from work weld this because it was a lot for my little welder. I was trying to do what we call a crush W, but the bars are just uh, straight layers. And here I'm trying to do a crushing in the corners to manipulate the pattern a little bit, especially right here. This die is mainly for doing canister Damascus, which you will see shortly. I have a couple projects in the works using that, but it works really well for re-squaring up billets and if you want to crush it on the sides. I will say this log splitter put in a lot of work putting this together. I probably burned 3 gallons worth of gas. And here we got a bar about 13, 14 inches long. We're going to twist it clockwise. And I don't have a twisting machine, so I just hand a Sasquatch a 2-foot pipe wrench with a bar welded to it and tell him to twist. Since we are twisting this by hand, I have to reset it and then twist the top. Here we are twisting it in the opposite direction. Same concept. So you want to do the alternating twists if you're going to do a multi-bar, because then you will be able to see a pattern in the center of your blade. We're just going to square it up, trying for a final dimensions of 3/4 of an inch. And then we'll sand one side flat and then re-weld it. Here we got the billet pretty hot. I did 2 or 3 heats before this to set that weld vertically because that's a long billet. And now we're just getting it to the final dimensions. I was trying for 1/4 of an inch thick. Getting the tang set up. I did have a small crack in there, but it's in the tang, so I just ground the crack out and then put some weld in there. You won't see it, and it's not going to hurt the structural integrity of the blade. And we're going to go to the anvil and do some handwork. I will explain that I am not the best at the craft of hammering, but I am getting better over time. And that'll be it.
All right, y'all. That was a lot of work. I hope that time lapse made sense. We have it all drawn out. It's about 1/4 inch thick and 14, 15 inches long. I'm probably going to do a little bit more manipulating with this. You're going to have to watch the next video on that. But let's take a look at, see what we have here. I am going to cut both ends off because we have 2 bars running down this, and I want the halves join. I want that to be in the very tip. So we're going to have to come over here, slice off some of here, and as always, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one.